Stampers, it's Judy Klock here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock, coming to you on December 30th. I can't believe one more day to 2021, and then we're off to a new year. So tonight, I wanted to share with you two of our Sale-a-breation items that you can get for free with the $50 purchase starting on Tuesday, January 4th. The first one is called Awesome Otters, and it's this adorable stamp set. So we're going to be working with these cute little guys tonight. And then I'm also going to be working with the Simply Marvelous Designer Series paper. Again, this is a Sale-a-breation item, free with a $50 purchase. It comes in, I think there's 48. There's 6 different colors. And there's blues and grays and greens and purples and yellows and oranges. And I don't have all the colors, but I know it's like Calypso Coral, So Saffron, I think it's Gorgeous Grape, Balmy Blue. I'd have to go look. There's a lot of different colors. But we're going to create 2 cards tonight, and we're going to do, obviously, as always, a simple stamping card. And we're going to just use our beautiful Designer Series paper, and we're going to create a fun little gift card holder in case you have a birthday coming up. And then we're going to get a little bit more with our Stampin' Blends. We're going to color one of these little guys in here and just add some embellishments. So let's go ahead and get started. Our simple stamping card, we're going to use a base of our thick Whisper White, and we're going to score it. It's going to be cut to 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 2 inches and at 5 1/2 inches. Then we're going to take where we have that little 2 inch, we're going to fold that to the inside. So we're going to take a strong adhesive like our tear and tape or our liquid glue, and we're just going to lay down a couple of strips of this adhesive. We're going to take off the, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time thinking today. We're going to go ahead and take off that tape covering. And then we're going to fold that over, and we're going to create that little gift pocket. So very simple, very quick. Even someone who is new to stamping can actually do this little kind of fun fold. So now we're left with a piece that is 3 1/2 inches by 4 1/4 and 2 inches by 4 1/4. So we're going to cut a piece of basic black. We're going to cut it to 4 by 3 1/4, and we're going to layer that there. And then we have a piece of that Designer Series paper. I chose the gray this time because I wanted to use, make it a little bit more masculine. I thought the pink might be a little bit too feminine still. So before I adhere this paper, I want to go ahead and stamp my images. So I'm going to bring my paper here, and I'm going to use the otter who is kind of standing up. And we're just going to ink him up with our tuxedo black ink, Memento Tuxedo Black. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to stamp him kind of front and center. Then we're going to give him a funny little party hat. Okay, and I'm trying to get this close to his head. Not too bad. And then we're going to add a sentiment that said, "It's birthday time." All right. Here we go. Now, normally, I'm going to leave this open for 1 more minute because I want to take the inside, and I'm going to stamp your Otterly Awesome on the inside. Now, normally, I would say stamp before you adhere the inside, but because this is our thick, basic white, hey, Patricia, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp. Okay, there we go. Not too bad. All right, so now we're ready to put our card together. So we've got, remember, we've got our little pocket here for our little, hey, Michelle, for our little gift card. And now we're going to go ahead and layer this up. So we're going to take our adhesive, and we're just going to go ahead and put a piece over here. Now, again, this is 4 by 3 1/4. Okay. And then where our otter is, this is 3 3/4 by 3. We're going to attach him there. Okay. So again, this is going to be nothing more than our stamps, ink, and paper. So again, perfect for a beginner to do. Then I have another piece here. This is for by 1 3/4, and we're just going to go ahead and put that there. I just felt like that was a little too white, and I wanted to add a little bit of color there. All right, so we got that there. And we're going to add another piece of our designer series paper, and this is 3 3/4 by 1 1/2. Okay, so everything's just getting 1/4 of an inch shorter. How is everybody this evening? Is everybody ready for New Year's Eve? We're not doing anything. I'll be surprised if I can actually make it up past 9 o'clock. Now, if you had a little bit of Wink of Stella and you wanted to add a little bit of sparkle to him, you could certainly take a Wink of Stella and maybe add a little sparkle. Let's add a little sparkle to his party hat. Again, you know, this is something that we could still have a beginner could do, because all you're doing is just kind of brushing this over there real quick. And we're just adding that little bit of sparkle to his party hat. And that's it for our basic stamping card. So we just took our stamps, ink, and paper and made a pretty quick and easy little gift card holder for a birthday that you might have coming up in January or February. Now let's go ahead and let's work on our more advanced cards. We're going to make another one. We're going to have a base of our Misty Moonlight. And this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to add a piece of basic white to the inside, and I'm going to pretty much leave it blank because I'm going to use this as sort of an all occasion card. So I'm not going to stamp anything on the inside, but I am going to add, I have an extra little strip of these designer series paper from cutting my other paper. I had a couple of these little strips. So this is just 4 inches by 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to add it on the bottom, just to add, again, a little bit of color to the inside of our card and kind of bring the front side of our card to the inside. And I'm going to add a piece of Balmy Blue that is 4 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to go ahead and add that right there. And then we have a piece of that Simply Marvelous designer series paper that is 5 by 3 3/4. We're going to add that there. Again, this is going to be a really easy, it's still a pretty easy card until we get to the coloring. That's going to take us a few minutes. Then I have a piece of Balmy Blue that is 3 3/4 by 1 1/2. In the very sort of bottom left, I'm going to stamp You're Utterly Awesome again. Okay, so we're just going to stamp that kind of right there. Okay, now we're ready to adhere this. And I'm going to adhere this, I don't know, maybe like about 1 inch up from the bottom of our card, maybe 1.5 inches. I don't know, it's kind of wherever you want it. I guess that's about, maybe that's about 1 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom of our card. Now I have here one of our circles cut with our layering circle dies, and I'm going to stamp what I call our floating otter, or our popping his head out of the water otter. Okay, so here we go. Make sure I get good coverage. Now we're going to stamp him just kind of in the middle of our circle. And now we're going to bring in some of our stamping blends. Let me just close up my ink. So I'm going to color the center of our otter in Crumb Cake. And again, this goes pretty quickly. Just make sure you don't hit that. And I'm using the light shade of all of these blends. So just the light. The blends are sold in a combo pack of light and dark, and I've chosen to use the light for all of these. Then we're going to color in the outside of our little otter friend in Soft Suede. Okay, and again, I just kind of like go near the edges and then kind of fill it in. Now, these are alcohol based, so they do spread very easily, so you don't need to go very hard or that close to the edge, because it will spread and fill in. And if it doesn't, you can always just go back and touch it up with like a little dot. I'm going to do his little nose too. So if you do happen to go over, we have like the color eraser one that you can use to correct small little mistakes, but let's try not to make any. Okay, then we're going to come in here, we're going to color the water. We're going to color the water with light Balmy Blue. And I'm just going to come here and kind of use these little droplets behind him. I'm just going to kind of color in really quickly the rest of the water. And we're just going to kind of go down a little bit past where we stamped. I'm going to put a little bit of blue there and try to cover up that one where I kind of went over it with the suede. Okay. I'm just going to come down here a little, come out a little bit more to the sides, come down a little bit here more. Okay. All right, that looks good. Now we're going to take Pool Party, and we are going to do our pool party on the top. Okay. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We're just kind of come up and around our otter and just kind of outline him in a bit of a circle. Okay, very quick. These markers they go quickly, they dry quickly, so not a lot to do. All right. Okay. All right, that looks good. Now, again, because I like to add a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella to the water and around him. I'm going to leave our otter not sparkly, but his water and his sky is going to be sparkly. You can make the otter sparkly if you wanted to, but I don't think the otter has to sparkle. We're just going to go ahead and brush this on. Now remember, when you're working with Wink of Stella, when you press it to get more out, do it over a piece of scrap paper, because I have had big blobs come out and ruin my stamped image. All right, that looks good. Now let's bring our card back. We're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals to him, like maybe 3 or 4. And then we're going to add him to our card front. Okay, now don't forget, if you're here, give me a hello, a thumbs up, something, so I know that you're here, so that I can enter you in for a chance to win the 2 cards we make tonight. All right, now I'm going to add some more bling. We have our blue adhesive backed gems, and they come in Balmy Blue and Night of Navy, and I'm going to use the Balmy Blue, keeping with the theme of our card. And we're just going to add about 3 of these gems. And that is it. How cute are these otters? I am in love with the otters. Like I said, the stamp set and the designer series paper called Simply Marvelous. You can earn these for free when you spend $50. So if you spend $100, you can get both of these items. All right, that's it for me this evening. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you'll check out my website, stampinwithcraftyclock.com. And from there, you can hit my shop or my YouTube channel. Have a very happy New Year. I will see you all in January. Bye now.